Hey, welcome back. Had some lag issues, so I'm keeping an eye on my bandwidth and hardware, etc. And if you tune in to this stream now or later, and thanks for tuning in and checking out what I have to say on International Day of People with Disabilities. And I am an international person with disabilities, and my name is Daryl. And I am so disabled that I didn't even know we had our own day, right? That's pretty cool, all around the whole world. So the downside is I'm disabled. Most people, I've come to find out, don't really know what that means. I used to think that I knew what it meant, but once I became disabled myself and joined the Incurables Club, I found out that I really never knew what disabled meant at all, even though I spent the majority of my life with a quadriplegic uncle of the same name. But I was never in his shoes or in his wheelchair, but I will be soon. I was classified technically legally disabled in March of 2018, so I haven't been permanently disabled for very long. But today, International Disabled Persons Day is about more than just today or one day a year. Today's about the lives of and how people are living. 1.3 billion people out of 7.5 billion people around the world are living with disabilities. And most people in our lives really don't know how it is that we are living. Most of my friends think that I'm living the life of Riley or contemplating the mysteries of the universe out in my balcony garden. And the truth is that I've been sitting in this chair 99% of my time this entire year. So this is my world right here, my desk. I have this 100-year-old antique old wooden Amish farm table, and that's what my stuff is set up on. And I have my whole world here. So what's the problem? Most people, businesses, society, governments, organizations, whatever, really don't know what our lives are like or how to be instrumental and positive in the inclusion of disabled people into socialization and society more than we already are in spite of COVID-19. So there's the problem, there's the solution. Always bring solutions to the table. I was out in the battlefield here. I live in the Gettysburg battlefield here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And I was talking to a young soldier in the Gulf War. And I was once I used to be in charge of horticultural science at Arlington National Cemetery attached to Fort Myer in the 3rd Infantry, say civilian contractor in any event. So I run into this soldier, we start having a chat, and he says, and I was discussing with him, I said, I might have here's an example for you real quick. When I start conversations these days, I have to say to people, before we begin our conversation, you may notice that I will slur my words. I may seem like I am stuttering, but I have MS. And what that means is I have multiple sclerosis. And what that means is you could say a 7-word sentence to me right now, and in 2 seconds flat, I'm going to forget it. I might forget what we're completely talking about. Do you remember that movie with Drew Barrymore and 50 First Dates and Adam Sandler, and she had the memory loss? And that's a truly scary thing, and I know just how that is, and that's caused by cognitive dysfunction from multiple sclerosis. And multiple sclerosis has disabled me. So in March of 2018, I went applied for disability. I got it in 5 days. When I went into the clinic, I went in with hereditary hemochromatosis and chronic costochondritis. I left with multiple sclerosis and narcolepsy. So I have 4 incurable illnesses, and 2 of them could kill me before I finish the stream. Now I could go on all day and all night, and I am the king of making a short story long. But one valuable lesson I learned over the years is, give me an example. So I will give you an example. And I will show you what 3 of my days were like in the last 5 weeks since Halloween. 3 of my days. These are 3 of my days. So we'll see how we do with this. That's me taking the trash out, going to get the mail. And so the thing is, most people in my life are unaware of what I just showed you. Okay? People who are close to me in my life have said, I thought there was people there checking on you and helping you and getting you the things that you need. And my response was, in what fantasy world that person painted that fiction in their own head? Most of us who are disabled or suffering with chronic illnesses that have disabled us have found that most people in our lives think that we are living their lives and we're not. A lot of people who work and function in society every day in a normal fashion, a 9-to-5 job, hobbies, teams, barbecues, get-togethers, and that sort of thing. We, and I am speaking for several people because I ask and I peruse forums and help groups and support groups, and people, and I'm really trying so hard right now to stay on track, I really am, are unaware of the fact that we're not living your lives, and you people who are living normal lives, you don't have what we have. I've had so many people tell me, oh yeah, I have memory issues, it's old age. Well, you see, if you had the memory issues that I have, you too would be disabled. So you don't have what I have, okay? It's not the same thing. Narcolepsy isn't the same thing as taking a nap. When I speak, okay, this is like a blindfolded samurai trying to cut a ping pong ball hanging like a piñata in a dark room. So I'm trying very hard to focus to make words come out of my mouth. I'm going to give you multiple sclerosis for dummies. I'll explain it to you very easily, very simply. Just 1 second. I don't have one, but we will pretend that I do. So let's pretend like this is a light cable. Let's pretend that at the end of this cable is a light bulb, okay? And this end of the cable plugs into the wall socket in the wall. That's your brain. The wall socket in the wall is your brain. These cables are the nerves that transfer commands, thoughts, ideas, movements to the light bulb, which is the actual movement, okay? So you have your thoughts, your actions, etc., 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 traveling through your nerves out to my fingers, which these days pretty much do their own thing when I don't even know it. Welcome to Arab Avenger. And so when your thoughts and your ideas and your commands are coming from your brain and they're going through your nerves, they make your fingers work. Those of us with multiple sclerosis, this cord that's sending all of these things to your body to make your body work and your mouth work, okay? These nerves, these transfer vessels are under attack, okay, by the immune system. Our immune system thinks that this protective coating, the myelin coating on the nerves of our brain, our immune systems think that it is a disease. And so the immune system is attacking the protective coating on the nerves of our brains, and it's deteriorating it. What does that mean? That means that my brain is trying to send signals to my left eye and my mouth, and my fingers trying to use my mouse, or my right leg, or anything in my body. It's messed up. There's like potholes in the road. The communication wire is under attack, it's deteriorating, and that's what MS is, okay? There's no cure. I will continue to deteriorate until I cannot talk and until I cannot walk. A year from now, I may not be able to tell you what's wrong with me at all. I have deteriorated at least 75% this year just since COVID-19. A year ago, I did not talk this way. People who know me well definitely have noticed the difference. That's your multiple sclerosis awareness message of the day. And I have a lot of other podcasts and things like that on my YouTube page, but we'll talk about that another time. So I didn't even know that we had a Disabled Persons Day. That's pretty cool. I want a t-shirt. So, am I a victim? This young soldier out in the battlefield one time, we started talking about this and that, and I shared with him that I used to be an associate manager at Arlington National Cemetery, Fort Myer in 3rd Infantry. And when I started the conversation with him, I had to tell him, look, I have multiple sclerosis, so while we're talking, I'm not drunk, I'm not wasted, and I may forget what you are telling me or what we are talking about within 30 seconds flat. And so he asked me, he says, so you're not a victim, are you? And the thing is, I never thought of that, and I've never been asked that question, and I was just like, that's really strange. And your immediate response is the most honest response. And I said, no, man, I'm not a victim. Shit happens and you roll with it. And that's it. You know, that's fate. You got to adapt and overcome as best you can with your disabilities. You got to roll with it. It sucks. It's depressing. I can't do the shit that I used to like to do, man. I've done a lot. You name it, I've probably done it. So how does society, people, and businesses get us disabled people more included out in everything that society is doing? You know, I'd like to see a person in a wheelchair, like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying, you know, I don't see too many people who are disabled out and about all the time and being included in things. And now that I'm disabled, there's been a lot that has been revealed to me, and I realize now how ignorant I was 3 years ago. And I've had so many of my friends who are disabled say, welcome to the club. Because I would ask people, I said, does this happen to you in your life, the things that people do? And we're not included, and, you know, boo-hoo. So what do we do about it? Okay? One, I'd ask you to donate to fundraisers and charitable causes for incurable disabling diseases and illnesses. Please do. A dollar matters. I'm planning on doing fundraiser streams right here on Twitch. That's my number one goal with Twitch, is to do fundraising for incurable debilitating illnesses. My myeloma that just killed a very kind dear friend of mine just last week, and that could have been avoided if that illness was cured, if people had donated to that research to have it cured. That young, positive, awesome person still be with us. It's been a sad week. So if you can't donate, because I certainly can't donate, and that's disability. Disability means I'm living on my monthly income is what my weekly income used to be. And that's a shocker. And if anybody ever tells you put away $5,000 for a rainy day, you better put away $1 million, because I blew through 80,000 in 1 year and it saved my life 15 years ago. You think you got enough money to cover your ass if you're disabled? Guess again. You probably don't. If you can't donate, act on the things that I just shared with you. How can your business or people that you interact with, people at the Y, people at the local cafe or restaurant that you visit, how can you be instrumental in us being more inclusive? For example, I can go downtown right now, right here in the most famous small town in America, and half the businesses down there, I would not be able to get a wheelchair into those businesses. And that's going to make a heck of a video when I first get my wheelchair, because I am headed for a wheelchair. I need a wheelchair at this point. And going down there and saying, you know, how can you, and not to be negative, no, positive solutions. Go to these businesses, say, look, you know, I'd really like to be into your business and come in here and, you know, and interact with you guys, but you got to help include me with this. How can I get in your stories here? That's the solutions I'm talking about. Simple stuff. You see it, you see a doorway, we see it differently. I pushed my uncle in his wheelchair for years. I lived at his house. He was one of my best friends. So I know what that's like for a guy just trying to get a soda or try to get inside someplace that he can't. So that's the solution I'm talking about. Not going downtown and bitching at people, but saying, hey, you know, what can we do to, if you've been following my stuff for years, you know it's coming. Wouldn't it be better if? And man, that's my mantra. And if the world followed that, the world would be a different place. And so that's the solution I'm talking about. Wouldn't it be better if we could include disabled people in more of the things that society's doing? And yeah, it's tough right now with COVID-19. So what's the alternative? Reach out to those few disabled people like me. And I know that I'm going to hear from a couple of you this month. You're going to say, hey, how you doing? And that's what I'm talking about. So everything I just shared right now, the third part of that solution is to educate people. Say, hey, what's up? Look, this is what's going on. How can we include disabled people in everything that it is that we are doing? So much to say in so little time. I wanted to share what was on my mind. I hope this isn't lagging too bad and getting some errors. And if it does, I'm going to make a recording and I will be posting it on my YouTube channel. And you can find my YouTube channel under Daryl Tunga, Daryltunget. And I'm just looking at my stream lagging, trying to work some things out here with Twitch. IDP, International Day of People with Disabilities. I had no idea we had our own day. That's pretty awesome. So, in the last month, in the last 5 weeks, what is a 5-week period like for a disabled person? In the last 5 weeks, I have heard 3 human voices. 4. Tammy, Larry, Heather, and Ed. And I talked to my friend Bob on the phone last night. In 5-6 weeks, since my birthday at Halloween, I have heard the voices of 4 human beings briefly. Briefly. That's all the contact I've had because I'm isolated. I live on the 3rd floor and I need a wheelchair. Mail doesn't get collected. Trash doesn't go out. You just watched how I go down the stairs. Groceries, shit out of luck, you're shit out of luck. You can't get a ride, you can't get a ride. That's the life of a disabled person. You go without, and that's it. You better buy lots of beans and rice. You better have a big phone book because you're going to need toilet paper, and that's how disabled people live who are isolated, and that's my life. So I just went a week, almost a week, without most basic necessities. So my friend hit me up last night and asked me how things were going, and as usual, Blabs, my lifelong friend, thank you so much for having my back once again. And that's the kind of action that more people need to take. If more people would reach out to those few people that are in your neighborhood or in your life, or strangers, a great young stranger who just passed on, reach out, she changed her life. I'm getting all kinds of lag here, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue that. But if more people were like that young woman, the world would be a very different place. Or the actions that my friend Bob just took, the world would be a different place. Yeah, I'm gonna have to end this stream because it looks like it's I'm getting lag errors. So I'm gonna check this. I'll send in 10 more support tickets to Twitch, and maybe they'll get back to, maybe Twitch will get back to this disabled person someday who's trying to use their network for good causes, because this is the second awareness fundraiser type stream I've tried to do. I tried to do one on Veterans Day, same deal. My stream's cutting out everything. Last night I was streaming really good. That's unfortunate, but that's an entirely different topic that is completely unrelated, or is it? Okay, I'm talking about inclusion of disabled people into social networks, society. How can you include us into the Twitch network? Right? Because that's what the International Day of People with Disabilities is all about. How can society include us in your activities? I would appreciate it if Twitch would get back to me on my 5 support tickets that I sent them in the last 6 weeks. That's really unfortunate. I'm hoping I can continue to use this network because I really wanted to do some I wanted to do some good things with this network before my time is up. I wanted to do some really good things with the Twitch network before my time is up. So we will look for positive solutions, and we will hope for the best, and we will trudge forward. In any event, if you're a disabled person, if you're an isolated person, if you're a person who streams or watches YouTube videos or anything like that, or you want to chat, say hello, follow my channel, look me up on YouTube. All my information is in my About section. Socialize, include each other, be inclusive. And all you businesses and all you non-disabled people out there, please, I'm begging you, be instrumental in helping disabled people in your family, in your community, in your schools, in your businesses, and your businesses. Better include disabled people. And so with this lag, my friends, I think this lag that I'm having, unfortunately, I'm going to have to call it a night. It's on and off. And so I will bid you adieu. And if you tune into this to hear what I had to say about disabilities, thank you so much for tuning in. And please have a very safe, happy, and healthy, and successful week ahead. Don't be a stranger. You're disabled, you're isolated. Reach out, say hello. Auf Wiedersehen, my friends. Don't be strangers. Be well, travel far, stay safe, and I hope the rest of your weekend finds you surrounded by those who love you the most. Rest well, all of you everywhere.